Greetings, travelers, and welcome to the mundane and the arcane. I'm here with...
I'm Nathan.
I'm Jared.
And I'm Stacy.
Now, let's jump back into our story. As our travelers have made their ways to the town of Tristalan, coming in at nightfall, seeing the lights upon this two-tiered wooden city where these three rivers meet, we're going to jump to Gronk. Being the only one coming in by river, you, as your ship makes your way towards the city, you come into port, you dock, and you see these weird elevator systems as your ship comes in. And there's these mechanical lifts that you can see bringing crates of goods up to the main tier of the city. And as your ship pulls in, docks, and starts registering their goods, you see this short, little weather-worn gnome. His skin color is dark, very well worn. It's a little hard to see him under the shadow of the city above you, and it's not terribly well lit here. I mean, he's gruff, he's built tough.
It's built Ford tough.
Yeah, even at his 3.5-foot stature, you're not entirely sure you would want to tangle with this guy.
Gronk doesn't necessarily want to tangle with anybody anyway, so I think he's good.
But your captain comes up to you and says, well, you're ready to... You can depart whenever you want. I've already cleared with the dockmaster. And you see him kind of return to go talk to this little gnome with... you see him kind of passing papers back and forth and signing. And then the elevators going up are only carrying goods, no people. If you look off, you can see staircases and ramps going up to the rest of the city.
Okay, well, Gronk's going to go ahead and collect his belongings and leave the boat. He's already carved his name in the boat at this point. So, he's going to, I guess, follow the crowd like over to the stairs and, you know, kind of taking in this, I guess, subterranean area of the city. And, he's just going to walk over to the stairs and, I guess, carve his name on the rail.
Okay. As you look around, you notice that there's only dock workers here, but it seems like the flotillas that are down here are largely empty. And then there's also not really much of a crowd of people. Like, you see a few people kind of going up the ramps. This place looks like it should be busy, and it's not.
Okay.
And as you pass by, this short gnome next to you has a just big coughing fit. And then reaches out his hand. Where do you think you're going?
Ah! Scared the shit out of me.
Oh, you scared the shit out of me.
I'm going to the top.
What's your name?
He just points to the rail. It was like...
And this gnome just looks at you and glares. Saying you already defamed Tristalan property?
No, but it just happened to be there.
Then why is your name already here?
Like... So Gronk is going to like cover his mouth and his nose so he doesn't get sick.
It's fair. It's fair.
He's got one of those surgical masks.
He's waiting on your explanation as to why your name is already defaced in there if you said it's already there.
I don't know. Maybe somebody's following me.
But they're here before you?
Come on, man. Like, they knew I was going to be here, I guess.
What's his name? It's Gronknag Vagan Smith. He's on the dossier. He's licensed to be here. That's all you had to say. Get out of here.
Gladly.
He like walks.
All right. As you make your way up these ramps, you are coming up into the central market area of Tristalan, which is predominantly... Tristalan itself is kind of built in a circle. So, as you make your way up this ramp, you're coming up in the central... Like, Tristalan is built in more or less a circle around these three... Like, above these three rivers. The market area... And you can see this from down below. Depending on where the ship comes from, the goods get lifted into a different district. And you can kind of see that there's another, like, smaller circle, and that's the market area. And as you come up, you notice that almost every house and business you pass by, there's not a light in any window. But you do remember, as you were coming in, you could see lights, as if the town was brightly lit. And you can kind of...
Wait, the town is what?
I hate you so much.
The town is brightly lit.
You could see that the town was illuminated. So as you look towards the center of town, you do see lights coming up somewhat intermittently, but there is a constant glow, and the only foot traffic you see is actually heading towards the center of town.
Okay, I follow.
Okay. We're going to jump over to Deacon.
Hi.
Hi.
This is Deacon's new voice.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It's not Boomhauer?
No, that's our secret language. Okay. So what's up?
Deacon, as you come in from the western ramp into town, you are coming up to a similar situation to what Gronk just experienced. As you're approaching, you notice that you can actually see people like snuffing out lamps in their houses, coming out and start marching towards the center of town. Lights seem to be turned down as dusk has kind of fully taken over and it's going into night. And you do see people going into the center of town, yes.
Now, would I be like surrounded by people, or are they all in front of me?
There are people behind you. They're predominantly in front of you, but you do see, like you can look behind you as I'm pretty sure you're scoping for a place to steal from.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you're looking around to see if there's anybody behind you, you do see a few more of the houses going to turn off all their lamps and start coming out into the street and heading up behind you. And they all seem to be marching towards the center of town.
Okay, I'm going to take note of particularly fancy-looking houses.
Okay. You mark a few. You do, on your way in towards the center of town, you see one store, and at the front, it's just... There's not a lot of, like, gaudy store signs, generally.
Mm-hmm.
This one is. It's
nice.
Bright, vibrant purples and reds, contrasted with dark blues and blacks. And the whole building is painted. And you look up at the top, and it says Bards and Nobles.
Excellent.
And you look inside.
And it's full of books and magazines.
Absolutely not.
That have been read way too many times.
It is full of... As you kind of peek into the windows, you see just very exuberant clothing.
Oh, yeah.
Just similar in the colors that you see up on the sign. I mean, just bright, vibrant purples, some pinks, some really terrible-looking bright yellows, and silver and gold lining. And it just looks like this really... It looks like a clothing store for people that want to look like they're rich.
Okay. Is there like an alley down the side of the building?
There's an alley probably about 2 buildings up, and you figure there might be a back entrance if you duck into that alley and go to the alley between that row of shops and the shops behind it.
Okay. I'm going to do that, but I'm also going to do it stealthy. I'm going to sneak in. I don't want anyone to see me.
Where are you going, boy?
You're not even going to let me roll for it?
I mean, your dad's there.
Oh, I thought my dad left.
No.
Oh,
He's still
okay.
with you in Tristalan.
It's just some weirdo talking to me.
No. What are you thinking about, boy?
Hey, Daddy, you saw that place back there?
Yeah, it looked fucking awesome and awful at the same time.
I know. You want to get some new clothes?
Kind of looks around. I mean, all right.
All right, old boy, let's go.
All right.
No, I roll my stealth check.
Yep. Give me a stealth check. He's going to be rolling one with you.
12.
It's okay. They're distracted. It's with disadvantage.
Oh, nice.
So don't worry about when you're looking at my die rolls.
I was wondering how many people you were rolling for.
It was groups of people.
Okay.
You, as far as you're aware, as you and your dad slip down the alley, nobody seems to cause a fuss.
Cool. Hey, Daddy, let's make our way around back.
Thought that was the plan.
All right, let's go.
All right.
All right, so we're gonna creep to the end of the alleyway, to the end of the building, and I want to peek around and see if I see anybody moving down the alley the way they're moving down the streets.
No. Yeah, as you look around, there's nobody in the alleyways.
Okay, cool. Then we're gonna work our way quietly up back to the rear end of Bards and Nobles.
Mm-hmm.
And do I see like a back door?
There is a back door. This area is actually similar to kind of 20th century alleyways where people would like dump refuse and stuff. Like this seems more for utility, like these alleyways, and not where people travel. Like it's a back door in the building, but they put their trash back here.
Okay.
It says exit only.
It's exit only. I'm gonna look through some back windows, maybe.
There are no
back windows.
Okay, not back windows.
I'm gonna peek through the keyhole, see if I see any light inside.
All right, give me an investigation check.
That's a 9.
Don't see any lights.
All right, cool. I'm gonna pick the lock.
Go for it. Give me a it's dexterity plus proficiency plus d20.
That's a 20. What 20 modified?
Did you add your dex?
Yeah.
As your dad kind of keeps an eye out and just he almost throws his cloak up a little bit to kind of shield a little bit of what you guys are doing. Then you slip in your lockpicks and
I'm gonna slowly open the door. Look inside. What do I see?
As you come into the back end of Bards and Nobles, you see like a half staircase up and a door in front of you. And there's no doors to your right or left. It just looks like solid wood paneling.
Okay. I'm gonna put my ear to the door in front of me to see if I hear anything.
Give me a perception check.
That's a 9.
Don't hear a whisper on the other side of the door.
Cool. Then I'm gonna creep up the stairs.
What do you do when you get to the door?
I'm going to again be attentive and listen and see if I hear anybody on the other side, and maybe like peek through the keyhole.
Go ahead and give me another perception check.
That's better. That's a 14.
Sounds like noises, maybe from the street, maybe from
Okay.
above. There's not a whole lot going on.
I'm gonna
seem like from the other side of the door.
I'm gonna try the door, see if it's locked.
It is not locked.
Okay. Then I'm gonna open it real quiet.
It explodes. You die.
No. No, it
That was
doesn't.
short.
Anyway,
Campaign
so
over.
we go over to Zinka. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, no, you open the door and you are looking at the main floor to the store. There is a desk where they, take transactions in front of you. It's about 10 feet in front of you. It's about 30 feet, 35 feet or so to the front door. There does appear to be a staircase to your left that goes up where you assume there are living quarters. And then there is a door to your right that looks like it juts to the end of the building.
So I'm gonna go to the cash area, the money taking area.
Mm-hmm.
How much money do I find there?
Give me an investigation check.
It's not good. It's an 8.
So you're kind of digging around the desk. You find inside, where I guess in a modern desk you would find like a pull-out drawer.
Mm-hmm.
There's an empty slot, probably about 4 to 5 inches tall and about 1.5 feet wide. And as you're looking, you can see that there's been constant pulling and scraping against the wood. Nothing like jarring, but it looks like something's constantly inserted into this or pulled out of it. Yep.
Grow up.
Somebody fucking that drawer. Somebody fucking the money drawer.
With their money dick.
Yeah, with their money dick. So it'd be safe to assume that there is not money in this drawer.
From what you're able to, I guess, derive from your investigation check, you're assuming this is where they keep the cash, is probably in some box that they bring down every night.
Okay. Well, I'm going to look over at my dad and go, "Hey, Daddy.
Yeah, boy?
Stay back from the windows, but pick you out something nice. Don't put it on yet, but put it in your bag."
Well, I'll stay back. But give me that red one with the silver stars over there.
I got you. So I'm going to go get it for him. And then I want to pick out something for me.
Okay. It is a gaudy clothing store. What would you like?
I want an outfit that would make me look like Prince.
Like Prince.
A purple lame suit or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
I want like a purple velvet like
pajama
suit.
set?
No, but like it's just this really like fancy ass suit with like a, and it's cut real nice and it just fits me perfect. And then there's like a really nice like black shirt that I don't wear underneath it.
It needs a matching raspberry beret.
Yeah, I need a matching raspberry beret.
Go ahead and give me an investigation or a perception check, whichever's higher.
I crit failed.
You crit failed.
Yeah. So I do not get this amazing suit that I want.
You do.
Okay, but there's no beret.
Oh.
There isn't a beret per se, not in the style that you're wanting, but
Beret per se.
God damn it, per both.
Per both.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is. It looks like a really big red pirate hat.
Yeah.
And it's the closest thing you can find.
I mean, you're acting like I'm not into this. I'm going to take these things and put them in my pack.
And the suit was made for somebody much more broad-shouldered than you.
It's fine.
So
Shoulder
it kind of looks
pads.
like you have shoulder pads if
Nice.
you put it on.
I mean, duh.
I mean,
You're
And-
trying to make this sound less attractive, and you are failing.
No, I'm just telling you what you find.
Okay.
You get to run away with it however you want.
All right, cool. No, I'm taking all of this.
All right.
Now, you said there's a door off the main showroom floor?
There is. It looks, from the depth of it, you would imagine it's a closet or storage area of some kind, but you're not really sure, obviously, on what's on the other side.
All right, I'm going to go check it out. I'm just going to open the door real real quiet.
It is locked.
I unlock it.
Okay, give me a roll.
Nat 20.
All right.
The door explodes.
You do deftly open the lock, and as you open the door, it is just piles and piles of every color and style of fabric you've ever seen. Needles, thread. There's button drawers.
I'm gonna make myself a little sewing kit.
Okay. Just grab some needles, some thread, do you want buttons? What do you want in your sewing kit?
Yeah, I mean, it would have like buttons and like zippers, and I guess I don't have zippers. I don't know. They do now.
Why not?
So like anything that I would need to prepare like one of my costumes or the clothes I have on.
Okay, sure. Do you grab any of the fabric or no?
I'm going to grab some dark green fabric.
Okay.
I want something that's not too fancy, but looks very nice.
Polyester?
No.
No, I get what you mean. It's you find something similar to like a cotton silk hybrid.
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
Like it's understated, but you can tell from looking at it that it's very nice.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna take not a whole lot of it, just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine you're probably not stuffing. I mean, it's a lot of cloth that they have here. So,
no, I'm probably gonna take like
enough to patch
3 to
up
4
something.
yards or something.
Okay. All right.
4 o'clock.
Is there anything else you would like to do here in Bards and Nobles?
Well, I definitely want to check downstairs.
Upstairs.
Sorry, I thought I went upstairs.
No, there was like a half staircase that brought you onto the level of the showing floor.
Oh.
And then when you came out, there was a staircase that went up to the living quarters above the store.
Oh, okay. I want to go up there.
Okay.
I'm gonna try the door.
It is locked.
I'm gonna unlock it.
Okay.
That's 16.
It does not open.
Oh no.
Come on.
Nope.
All right, so I'm gonna go. Oh, come on, man. Daddy, you want to give this a go? You're a little better at this than me.
All right, you're in charge. Let me give it a shot. He is not able to pick it either. So that was a pretty decent roll, but it seems to be a really sturdy lock. And
Like I would have to I would probably have to roll a 20 to get it. Like modified.
You don't know.
DC on it's probably about a 20.
You have no idea.
Like the key looks like the DC on it's about a 20.
It's literally written in the lock underneath it. It's just DC 20. That's the brand.
Oh man.
You don't know.
All right.
You feel like you got close, but it started like one of the tumblers just once you kept picking at it, you got about 3 of the 5 tumblers, and then once you tried the 4th, they all fell.
I'm laughing because I was like, I'm gonna use vicious mockery on it, but I'm not. I'm gonna turn to my dad and be like, all right, Daddy, I guess we can't get in this one.
Hey man, I can.
But you know,
I got my red cloak. I'm good.
All right. Well, you know, there's some nice houses up here. Maybe we can come back later and find some.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna go ahead and head back down, kind of slip into the, down the alleyway and slip into the stream of people that are headed out to the wherever they're going. I'm assuming it's the center of town.
So as you slip back into the stream of people, nobody really questions or looks at you weird if you come out of the alley.
Yeah, because people live in the alley.
Somebody probably assumes you were putting out trash or something, or you weren't doing anything nefarious,
or maybe we were closing something up. And nobody knows.
Locking the back door.
Yeah. I always lock the back door. Put my key in it, turn it.
That's my back butt.
Yeah.
So as you join back into the stream of people, and you make your way towards the center of town, we are going to jump to Zenko.
Yes.
you are coming from the northern land route from Oxleal.
Mm-hmm.
As you approach town, you do have a little bit of a checkpoint that you go through where they're bringing in. You do have some farmers that are bringing in like crates of goods. You're not really sure what are in them, and they have to pass by a checkpoint. But as you walk up, the guards just kind of wave you through, and as you're approaching, it's a very similar situation where you see people predominantly seem to be going towards the center of town.
Mm-hmm.
Do you try to do anything, or?
I'll just walk towards town.
Okay.
I go in and check out. Okay, what do I see around me? I went through the checkpoint.
As you come up to the checkpoint, the guards kind of see you, and you just look like you don't look like you're here to peddle anything, or
Yeah.
so they just kind of give you a glance over and just, okay, go ahead, move on through, and they just kind of usher you in.
Cool.
As you're walking through town, it's a similar situation to what the other two have seen. It's just these lights that are getting turned off as you're going in.
Mm-hmm.
And you do see a similar situation of people coming out of their houses, going towards the center of town.
Oh, neat. I'm going to follow them.
Okay. As you head towards the center of town, as you get to the central, like, I guess as you get closer to the center of town, the storefronts actually stop, and you can see a very wide street almost, and that seems to be where everybody's gathering. As you walk up to it, and the two of you would also see this as well as you approach the center of town, there is a bunch of people that all have their arms interlocked that seem to be forming a ring in the center of the highway.
And they're all around a Christmas tree singing, Welcome Christmas, Christmas Day.
We don't have the rights to this.
On both the inside of this ring and the outside, you see fire dancers, and you see dragonborns that are tossing things up into the air, both gold and red, that will unleash fire breath and catch these items on fire, then grab them as they fall down, and then toss them to somebody who's about 30 feet away. And you just see these acrobats going off. You see these magicians that create sparklers out of their hands and shoot up just flickers of flame that go out almost as briefly as they appeared. And you see all these people, and as you try and get closer and closer to this ring, it becomes uncomfortably cramped. As you get closer, like you almost get shoved in the southerly direction. It seems to be like the crowd's constantly moving to try and make space so they can see the spectacle. Mm-hmm. And you all three find yourselves being pushed southward, which once you get there, you find out the reason they were all pushing south is because that's where there's a much bigger expanse in an open area so that people can see the show.
Oh, fantastic.
And as you all make your way to the southern end, as you're looking towards the center of town, you see up on a pedestal is a half-elven man dressed in these light blue robes with a big tri-corner ceremonial helm. And then underneath, you can kind of catch glimpses of it, is a dark blue armor that you can barely catch the color of as these flames whiz by, catching and catching the light and casting shadows in weird ways. And then he has this, looks kind of like a 2-pronged spear, but it doesn't look terribly functional. It looks more ceremonial from what you can see. At this point, you guys are anywhere from 40 to 100 feet away. But what you can see is very clearly this figure, whoever he seems to be almost like a master of ceremonies for whatever is going on here. And up from this pedestal, that ring seems to come up these side staircases up to him. And then you see a robed figure come up and create this monstrously big flame in between his two hands. And it looks like he's controlling this big, flaming, anime-style key ball of flame. And he lowers it down on top of a torch that this half-elf is holding. And the half-elf turns to his right and lights a torch. And then turns to his left and lights a torch. And you can see all these interlocked figures in this ring start lighting the torch next to them.
Deke's going to lean over to his dad and he's going to whisper, Daddy, is that a fortnight?
Oh, Jesus.
Did you say fork or fort?
Fort.
Oh, okay.
Is that a fortnight? Keep hearing about this fortnight.
We were talking about his pronged spear. You're like, is that a fortnight?
Yeah. Is that a fork? Is that a fork knife?
That's what they call their military, the fortnights.
Nice.
Oh, Jesus. Cinco just watches, curious to see where this goes.
Gronk's gonna just lean over to some random person that he doesn't know and be like,
Does he have a philosopher's stone?
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's an alchemist. I get it.
I was waiting for you to ask if it was a fortnight because I was going to lose it.
Do Winston and Deacon have anything to say? Winston, as you see, there's a sense in his eyes, he's looking at all these flames go up, especially that giant looking flame, which after he lights the torch dissipates, and you see if Winston had stress levels up to 100, he was at 70. He's down to 60 after that ball goes away.
Okay. So oh yeah.
Yeah, you
see. Yeah,
duh,
because he's burned on half of his body.
Yeah,
right.
He looks and he doesn't fully let go of the tension, but you can sense that he feels a little bit better.
Yeah, then that's why that would be why Deke made the joke with him about if that was a fortnight.
Okay.
Because he's trying to diffuse this. He knows his daddy doesn't like fire so much.
Yeah. The half elf turns, and you see him pull a wand up to his throat. And then you hear this resounding boom of a voice that just comes on.
Visitors and citizens of Tristalan,
Damn, Daddy, he loud.
we celebrate the beginning of the Harvest End Festival. Rejoice!
And you hear cheers coming up from everywhere, and all these acrobats and these performers, you see them pull out their big bag of tricks. This is the fireworks show on 4th of July. They all start throwing up bigger explosions, bigger spectacles that you see. Flaming swords go 30 feet high and to a person 20 feet over before being caught and swapped down to another person that's another 20 feet over. And you just see flames whirling everywhere.
Gronk's gonna slowly clap and kind of like look around and be like,
Oh, the crowd's erupting with cheers. Like,
yeah, and he's gonna be like, what the fuck did I walk into?
that's fair.
Yeah, Deke is definitely going to cheer and stuff, and so Winston would too. Just blend in.
Mm-hmm. And Winston kind of like, there is like, it's a genuine applause, but he's not sure how happy he is about it. But like, he is in awe of what's going on.
Yeah.
What about Zenko?
Zenko's just watching. She's pretty amused.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not much to do except watch.
So, due to all of your passive perceptions, actually, that's fine enough.
Mine's a 1.
Mine's 13.
14.
People around you are entranced by what's going on. Most of them are citizens in the area.
Do you say citizens?
Citizens.
Okay.
I mean, you don't know. They might be shitty people.
Yeah.
I get it, because they shush a lot of people.
Yeah. That's it.
This is their festival. Like, they are entranced by what's going on, and you three are a little more confused about what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of looking around to see how other people are responding and what's going on around you. You happen to catch there's about 10 to 15 people behind you, and then just down the street, you see some shadowy figures coming out of one of these stores and moving away from the festival.
I'm gonna follow. Daddy, let's follow.
And Winston looks and sees what you're pointing at. And
Well, I'm gonna tell him this with message,
okay,
so that it's not out loud.
okay. I mean, there's a lot of noise going on anyway. I mean, probably.
Yeah,
but yeah,
It would probably be better if I used message anyway.
Okay, that's fine. What's going on?
Using message. Daddy, there's some shadowy people headed away from all of these lights and shit. I think it would be in our best interest to follow them.
I mean, all right. And he turns around and he looks. Zenko and Gronk.
What impression am I getting off of those shadowy figures?
Give me an
Should I roll a perception check? Or insight check?
Give me an insight check. I think that would be more appropriate.
Okay. Insight's wisdom. Oh, sweet. Okay. 18.
So you've never really witnessed a robbery before?
Mm-hmm.
But these people are definitely sneaking around. And they're hunched over. They're trying to make themselves as small as possible. You see the way they're moving, they're carrying something kind of unwieldy. Even though you can't really see what they're carrying.
Even though I have dark vision at 60 feet?
They're a little bit beyond that.
Okay.
And it gives, and dark vision gives you kind of like a low light, like candlelight vision of the dark.
Oh, gotcha.
So yeah.
All right. Zenko narrows her eyes at them and starts to quietly move in their direction.
Gronk.
So Gronk isn't really going to be all that concerned about those two, but he does see some other movement within the crowd, like going towards them. So he probably would think like, oh, well, I guess this is where we're supposed to go next. So he just he's just dumb and doesn't get it. He's just going to walk. Yeah, he's going to start heading towards there. Yeah. Yeah, he just feels like, oh, well, I guess this is where we're supposed to be going, and just people haven't started. So he's trying to beat the crowd before everybody else gets there.
That's perfect. I'm totally okay with that. Like if it makes sense in your head, yeah, no, then great. Awesome. So As you three, well, you four with Winston, begin to move towards it, behind you, you hear a bunch of shocked gasps and, like, screams and exclamations. And as you turn and look, you see there's an upturned barrel. And a bunch of liquid seems to have caught fire along this wood decking of the city.
Shit.
And people are starting to freak out. You've seen the guards around here, and you immediately see them trying to come over. Every guard you've seen since you came towards the center of town seems to have like a 5-gallon bucket of water. Just in case.
Oh,
and you see them like start moving towards this upturned barrel that is fairly close to where this figure gave their speech. And there's seems to be like flames are kind of slowly spreading across the decking.
Oh, Gronk definitely think it's just part of the show.
We're not interested in that. We're interested in what's going on with the shadowy people running away.
Senko looks and pays attention to what's going on closely and notices the guards have water and is like, well, I don't have any water spells, so they got this.
Winston turns to you, Dinkin.
Dinkin!
Winston turns to you, Deacon, and you see like abject horror in his eyes, and he turns like, boy, you go take care of that. I'm gonna go help with this. And
Daddy, that's fire.
And that's why I gotta put it out. But man, get in good with the guards or something. Like, you don't know what those shady shits are doing. Just, I can't let this spread.
Okay.
And you see Winston go over and start trying to help the guards funnel water wherever he can, trying to help corral people and keep people away from the flames.
Okay. So I'm just going to be like, all right, you take care, Daddy, and I'll run. I try to catch up to those guys. I start shouting. Hey, get back here. Get on back here.
One, in your ear, you'd hear a message from Winston. Remember, boy, this is your mission. I just got to do what I got to do. And then... and
I say, love you, Daddy.
Like that we're touching our ears.
Yeah.
Like we're talking under a radio or something.
10-4, come back, buddy.
We're touching this. We're touching our headphones like we're fucking Mariah Carey in the studio.
As you call out, what was it? Hey, what you doing over there?
Get on back here.
Get back here.
Get on back here.
As you call that out, you see two of the figures, the two closest ones, see one, that there's a distraction going on, and then two, that there are figures that are approaching them as opposed to going to what is now a roaring flame on this deck, and they scurry faster.
Okay.
Like, I think Gronk would like hear Deacon say this and then notice that those other figures are like hurrying now. So now it's piqued his interest.
How far away are they?
They're about 45 feet away, I would say.
Cast Fairy Fire. It's a 20-foot cube in blue, green, or violet light. I'm going to pick green light. And they have to make a dex. Yeah. And they got to beat a 14.
You do see the two closest to you get covered in this green, shimmering, like, glittery light as this cube drops, or pops into existence, rather. And then you see a figure a little bit further away, probably about 10, 15 feet in front of them, gets hit. And then you don't see anything else get illuminated by it. And with that, we're going to roll initiative.
Woo! Whoa.
So 13 for Gronk.
Of course, I have -1 initiative. The shit.
All right. 25 to 20.
Deke has a 23.
Deke.
20 to 15. 15 to 20.
I rolled a 13.
Okay, yeah.
Gronk rolled a 13.
Yeah, it's so I can arrange you in the order
Okay.
from highest to lowest.
Like, why
That
don't you
works.
just write the number?
Because then I have to write down all the numbers, then rearrange them into the correct order.
No.
As
Okay.
opposed to just... Yes, it's much simpler. I have done it both ways.
All right.
Gross. That was my plan all along. To get him to say both ways and per both.
For both, I have done them.
I have achieved my goals.
Gronk, you're at a 13.
Yeah.
And Zenko?
18.
Okay, you're at...
I didn't understand when you said 15 to 20, or I started to, but then you changed it. I'm like, what do I do?
Oh, yeah, because I said 15 to 20, and then... Or 20 to 15, then 15 to 20, because I'm dumb.
It's okay.
All right. Deacon, you have one initiative.
Closest guy. Wait, there's 2 guys close, right?
There's 2 guys about 40 feet away. 40 and 45. And then there's somebody a little bit beyond them that's about 60 feet away.
Okay, I can do this. I'm gonna cast sleep on the 3 guys I can see,
Okay.
Nice.
and I'm gonna do it like this.
You have a guitar, maybe.
Wait, no, I forgot how the song goes.
You're nailing this.
No, I did it bad again.
She said
Here we
it's
go.
cold outside.
Go to sleep. Dream about your mama's dawn. Go to sleep. Tomorrow wear her thong. And then they all go to sleep.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your 5d8 there, bud.
They have nightmares about their mom.
I know. Plus 8, so that's 20.
Okay.
So that's 20. I did a 20
Cool.
on the D8s.
You see the farthest one away, and then one of the 2 that seems to have something that they're carrying between them just drift off and fall to the ground.
Nice.
You still have a movement, no bonus action.
No, I'm just gonna like run toward them.
Okay, so you move 30 feet closer.
Yeah.
Okay. As you come up closer to them, you see this figure that you hadn't seen before duck down an alley, and you hear just the "Hi-ya! Ha! Get on, you stupid beast!" and then shit, and you see a cart start pulling out of this alleyway and start drifting a little bit towards the outside of town.
Okay.
And that brings us to Zenko.
All right. Anyone near us still awake?
There is one that is still awake, yes.
How close is he to me?
Roughly 40 feet.
Okay. What's my running speed?
30.
My walking speed is 30.
Yeah, that's your movement speed.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna. I can get it from 10 feet away. I'm gonna walk up, and I'm gonna intimidate.
Okay. How do you intimidate him?
I walk up, stop, stare him straight in the eye, and firmly tell him, "State your business."
All right. Go ahead and give me an intimidation roll.
That's 11.
Roll a natural 19. So unfortunately, did not seem to stick. But he's looking at you and just like, he kind of looks at his situation. You also hear just, "Son of a beaver's dad," and just like You see him start to kind of drag the box and realize that his partner that has fallen is definitely asleep. Goes over and slaps his partner awake. That brings us to Gronk.
So Gronk's gonna definitely see these guys just like fall to sleep all of a sudden, and he's just gonna like run over to them. I'm gonna use my double speed.
Okay, so you're gonna double up, move to him.
Yeah, because I mean, how far away am I from them?
Roughly about 40, between 40 to 50 feet. So it would take both your move and your action
So
to
I'll use both of my move actions to get to them, and then like turn over to Deke and be like, "What are you doing?"
I'm
Like they didn't do anything. What are you doing?
They are clearly associated with the fire that is happening behind us.
I mean, you don't know that.
No, they're definitely running away.
I mean, yeah, because it's fire.
No, they were doing it before the fire.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, all I see is
Okay.
they just fall down.
Okay, here's what I want you to do real quick. I want you to go chase that guy and try to bring him back. And I'm just gonna point off at the wagon. Go get him.
And I
So
guess he's gonna turn and look at the guy like driving up in the wagon. Like,
Hey
what
man.
the fuck am I supposed to do?
Hey man. Use dash. Double speed.
Already
just
did it.
You did it to catch up to me?
I did it to catch up to the group of people that I just saw you put to sleep.
Oh, okay.
So let's truncate that entire conversation to 6 seconds. Because this is one round, guys.
Fuck it, who cares? Don't tell me what to do. You don't know how fast I talk.
Yeah. What are you doing? And I'm like, hey, man, you just go get him. Shut up, dummy. Let's go.
Christ.
You see 2 of these guys. One of them gets up off the ground and now seeing some decently armed people around.
That's oppressive to people who only have one arm or no arms.
Why did Sally fall off the swing? She had no arms and no legs. Knock, knock.
Is a
Not Sally.
Ouch.
Damn it.
Who did we
Good for
break?
Nathan.
Oh, that's so fucked up. I love it.
It's the only no
Is
art
that
joke I
Nathan
know.
that
I
we
think.
just broke?
Yeah, that's Nathan we broke.
All right. Let's get back into.
All right. So the guy who was asleep spends half his move to get up, moves another 15 feet to the other guy who fell asleep, and slaps him awake and turns towards the guy he was originally carrying his crate with that they've dropped. It's not worth it. Let's just go. And you see him spend his the rest of his 5 feet of movement to try and run towards the cart.
So he just runs 5 feet away.
Well, no, he moved. He spent 15 to get up.
No, I know. It's just funny. Like he
that was the
uses his
rest of his
last 5
movement.
feet.
Yep, that's all he had left. That would bring us to. You see one of these thieves that had a smaller container tosses it onto the back of the wagon and then scrambles up onto the back of it. And that will bring us over to Deacon.
I'm gonna cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on the guy who just climbed up on the wagon.
Okay. It's your save DC, and what's the saving throw?
It is Wisdom and 14.
How do you cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter?
I say,
He tells that Selly joke.
I was about to say it. No, I just scream out, "What's brown and sticky? A stick, idiot!"
And you just see this guy who's barely climbed onto the back of this cart just immediately falls down and actually manages to fall off the cart as well. And he's just on the ground cackling.
In Gronk's head, he's thinking, that wasn't that funny.
I think in everybody's head, we all thought that wasn't that funny. That will bring us to...
Well, and I'm going to move closer to them now. Can I reach them at this point?
You could get to the cart. You wouldn't have enough to, like, get in the cart or anything.
Yeah, I don't want to get in the cart. I want to, like grab this guy. I want to run up and be, like, all up in his business.
The guy driving?
No, the guy that fell.
Oh, he's on the ground. Yeah, no, you can catch up to him, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I am.
Okay. The cart driver will move the cart about 15 feet, and you see him constantly looking over, trying to, like, see if his buddies are getting onto the cart. It doesn't seem like he's trying to move the cart terribly far just yet. And pulls out a crossbow, and the closest one doesn't have a great shot at Deacon because you're right behind the cart.
Yeah, so I got, like, partial cover.
So he's probably going to take a shot at you, Gronk.
Okay.
With that natural 2, does not hit.
It hits.
And you hear him, fuck. And he just starts trying to, like, hold the reins and reload the crossbow. It's kind of real clunky. And that'll bring us over to Zenko.
Okay, so how far away from the cart am I?
Cart just pulled about another 15 feet away. You're about 25 feet.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Animal Friendship on the horse.
Okay, what does that spell do?
Ah, shite.
The spell lets you convince a beast that you mean it no harm. Choose a beast that you can see within range. It must see and hear you. If the beast's intelligence is 4 or higher, the spell fails. Otherwise, the beast must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be charmed by you for the spell's duration.
Okay.
If you or one of your companions harms a target, the spell ends.
All right. So I'm gonna cast Animal Friendship and say, "Come here, boy. Come here, horsey."
All right. They will make a wisdom saving throw, which they've got it.
Come here, horsey.
-3 on.
Come here, horsey.
So that's a modified 4. As your words get carried along the wind, and it's almost as you even say them, you hear the sound vibrations as it comes a little bit closer. It's like, come here, Corsi. And it just, like, almost becomes more like talking to them. Mm-hmm. One of the horse on the right turns towards you, and you just see it cock its head, and almost like its eyes glare at you, and like, did you really just call me a boy?
Oh, I'm sorry.
And then it starts pulling the cart. The cart starts listing drastically towards the right as it's trying to, like, come up and tell you what's what.
I'm sorry, my lovely equestrian friend. I did not mean to assume your gender.
It's going to bring us to the one that originally shook his friend awake and dropped the crate. You see him run over to the cart, hop up, kind of see the situation that this horse is starting to list terribly. You just hear another rather loud curse, and he turns around, fires a hand crossbow at, he has a better shot at you, Deacon. He will take that shot. That's a natural 1.
So he shoots his friend.
My bad guys are not doing well tonight.
Good.
Yeah, all right. That'll bring us to Gronk.
So how far away is the one that tried to shoot me now? Because
he's the driver on the cart.
Yeah, so he's being pulled by the horse.
Yeah, he's about 20 feet away.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna use. I'm gonna go walk up to him, and I don't like getting shot at, so I'm just gonna use my longsword.
Sure, go for it.
I'm aiming for the head because I'm pissed.
Okay, go for it.
That's a 6 plus 5, so 11.
Does not hit.
Wait, no, 6 plus 7.
13.
So 13.
Does not hit.
Oh, wait, 6 plus 9.
Unfortunately, as your sword comes across, you swing for the head, and as your blade comes around, he dodges his head towards the right, and it glances off the shoulder of his leather armor.
I'm going to action surge.
Okay. What would you like to do with your action surge?
I'm going to grab at his collar and try to pull him off the cart.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll.
8 plus 7.
That will connect. Go ahead and give me an athletics check.
12.
Grab on to the collar of his leather armor and start trying to drag him down. He just brings up his hand and manages to loosen your grip just a little bit. He's a little disjointed and doesn't seem like he's holding onto the reins quite as well, but he does not get yanked off the horse.
Okay.
One of these guys actually, I would say it's the one actually closest to Zinko, who's farthest in back in, I guess, y'all's marching order, per se. You see him bolt towards the crowd. And seems like he's running off the battlefield. There's one that's from the position you just left, Gronk, goes to the opposing side of the cart, and then turns around, looks at you three, sees his buddies kind of taking shots at the other two. He's going to take a shot over at Zinko.
Yay!
Does a 14 hit?
Does a 14 hit my AC? Well, I'm a squishy cleric, so yes, it does.
9 points of damage.
Oh, fuck me.
Yeah, he rolled real high.
Okay. I see that. Well, fuck this guy.
Mm-hmm. That will bring us around. Actually, no, they're on the ground laughing.
Yep.
I think they get a save every turn, correct?
It's at the end of each of its turns, and each time it takes damage, the target can make another wisdom saving throw.
All right, so he is still cackling on the ground mad. All right, we are back at the top of the order, so it's coming up on Deacon.
All right.
Smart.
So there's two guys on the cart.
Correct.
Okay.
One guy on the ground, one has bolted, and the other one is trying to catch up to the cart.
Yeah, I'm standing over the guy on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take my hand crossbow and shoot at the guy that is not engaged with Gronk.
So the guy on the cart,
Yeah.
on the back of the cart.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and take a shot.
7, that's 12.
12 does not hit.
Oh.
Sorry. Would you like to do anything else?
No, I'm okay. You know what? I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery at him. Can I do that?
No, that's an action as well.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You do have Bardic Inspiration.
Yeah, I don't know these fools.
It's fair enough. All right. That brings us to the cart driver, who's going to try and steer this cart and fail. So as the charmed horse attempts to basically steer the entire cart back towards you, Zinko, it takes a little bit too sharp of a turn, and it starts to kilter over, and you notice the cart just crashes into the middle of the street.
Oh, poor horses.
And yeah, no, they topple into each other, being strapped in. The one driving and the one on top. The one driving actually does manage to land on his feet. The one on top of the cart does not.
Aww.
And gets the packages that they'd already put on top of the cart, managed to fall on top of him, and he is effectively restrained, being pinned by these boxes, and you see him start beginning to struggle underneath them.
Aw.
And the driver, who lands on his feet, looks around at his situation and decides to bolt. Just looks around and starts just gunning it for the edge of town.
Ah. That's the guy who shot me, yeah?
No, that was the one that had not hopped up onto the cart yet, but had kind of taken a view of the surroundings and seen that his buddies were shooting at the other two. That will bring us over to Zinko.
All right.
So
Well,
the guy who was shooting at me is now running away.
The driver, yes, he is bolting towards
So
the edge
does he
of town.
not take an attack of opportunity?
When the cart toppled over, it kind of flew him out of your combat distance.
I mean, I got a pretty big combat distance. You don't
Bitch,
know
wait
me.
If
your
you would,
turn.
if you would like to take, if you would like to use your reaction to do an opportunity attack, go ahead.
All right, I would like to do that.
Go for it.
That is a 19.
That does hit.
So I'm gonna swing my sword like right into his gut.
Okay.
Oof.
10.
All right. So you did 10 damage.
10 damage.
Okay. So as he begins to try and bolt, you manage to stick just above where the kidneys are in his stomach, and he just and he stumbles for about 10 feet and then falls to the ground.
I did something.
And we're all proud.
Yeah, good move, dummy.
Zinko, as we come to your turn, there is a half-orc citizen of Tristalan. You're not really sure. Somebody has just winged the driver, and you see the driver tumble off.
That's
And
convenient.
as you look around, you see the remaining thieves look at their situation, and coming from as this cart has crashed, you hear behind you towards the center of town a voice, "Hey, what's going on over there?" And you start to see guards approaching, and the thieves start just dropping their weapons.
Okay, so since the thieves are no longer a threat, I'm going to go over to the prone horse and remove the cargo from him and help it up.
So you want to cut him loose from the bindings?
Yeah, cut both of them loose from the bindings, but one of them needs to be unpinned.
Well, the one actually the one that's on top is still technically charmed by you. So I guess you're able to convince it to essentially let you go, and the other one, while still bucking, you managed to cut it loose as well.
Mm-hmm.
Then the thieves are all dropping their weapons. That does bring us around to Gronk's turn.
So obviously he heard the guards like asking what's going on over here. So he's gonna put his sword away and like try to determine like is the guy that I hit just down or is he dead?
He is down from what you can tell.
I'm gonna check his pulse.
Okay.
But he's gonna check it real bad probably because he doesn't know what he's doing.
Go ahead and give me a medicine check.
For some reason, he's proficient in medicine.
Well, I think
All
it's because your dad's an alchemist, I believe.
That's a 20.
A natural 20 or just
No,
modified
modified
20? Okay. As you come up, the wound looks bad. You're not sure if he's going to die from it or anything, but the second you kind of put a little pressure on it, it seems like it stops him from bleeding out completely. And it looks like he'd pull through as long as he has really basic medical care.
Would I have something in my pack, like a cloth or something that I could put on it?
You're pretty sure if you just honestly keep pressure on the wound, he would be fine. Like, you knocked him literally right to 0 hit points. So he's not... If he was left out in the woods and alone, he would be dying. But as you're sitting now, if you just keep pressure on it at the moment, he's not going to get worse if you just keep your hand there.
Okay, so are the guards coming towards us at this point?
Yes.
Okay, well then he's just going to hold pressure until the guards get there.
Okay. The guards approach. The thieves have still... None of them have decided to bolt at this point. On top of the thieves that are still around you, you do see another guard grabbed a similarly robed figure, or cloaked figure rather, being dragged by a guard towards the situation, and it seems like the one that had run towards the crowd is being dragged just in case they're a witness or something. And as the guards approach, they look at you. Oi, got enough of a hubbub going on over here? What's going on?
Well,
Why are you interrupting the initiation of fire?
Well, sir, when all of that was going on, we saw these folk over here tossing stuff onto this cart and trying to run away.
Oh,
They're stealing. They're stealing during the initiation.
what? All right, you there? What's the meaning? Why is that guy over there bleeding out on the ground?
'Cause he shot at me.
Fair enough. All right.
Also,
And he's kind of seeing like all the weapons that have been dropped on the ground.
and there's still one guy at my feet who is laughing his ass off.
Oh yeah, actually, he's got a. Okay, yeah, that guy is still cackling madly.
Yeah,
He has failed to save 4 times now.
his sides are literally splitting.
Yeah. And yeah, so they approach and what's the meaning of this? And one of these thieves just comes up and is like, "Look, I'm sorry. We came up and we knew everybody'd be distracted, and we don't have much, so we thought we'd take advantage of this situation, and I didn't want to be a part of this. I'm so sorry. And he just starts spilling his guts about how they're trying to rob this place, and you see a few of the others that are not as weak-willed or maybe more used to this, kind of like giving them a real mean glare. And then, all right, we'll take these lot in. What's the story behind you 3?
Well, sir, as far as I figure it, I know for me, I saw them stealing and looting, and so I came to do the right thing and stop them. And then these fine folk here helped me out.
Okay. What about you, half-orc?
Well,
Which one?
I saw, like, they were fighting, and I didn't want them to, so I was trying to stop it, and then this guy shot at me, so I don't know.
So you stabbed him.
Yeah. Oops.
You do your race a great justice. You half. The fuck are you?
And like this is the first time where Gronk actually sees Zinko like without any action going on, and it's like wind blowing in her hair, and it's like he is seeing sparkles around her, and he is infatuated immediately.
It's like Wayne's World with the foxy lady.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, bam.
Well,
Foxy.
Yeah,
I'm a
weirdly-
half-orc. I came to investigate what was going on and ask that they state their business, and well, as you can see, I'm bleeding.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
Oh, no.
And then he immediately leaves the guy to bleed out to go and help Zinko.
Yeah, I mean, are you all right?
Yeah, I'll be fine. I have.
Like he's still stumbling through his pack trying to find extra cloth to help her out and stop bleeding.
My mother taught me very good medicine. She
All right.
was, she's my she's the resident clinic where I'm from, or clinician.
Oh, I mean, nice to know. All right. Well then,
I think I saw some of them break into the Bards and Nobles.
Oh, they've got one of those here?
well, we'll look into it. All right. You've done good work, and tell you what, go by the cracked mug. Tell him Stefan sent you, and they'll get you around.
Is that
Sounds
Stefan
lovely,
with a
thank you.
PH or an F?
Sure.
Per both.
Both.
Thank you, Stefan.
Oh, I'm not Stefan. I use my boss's name when I have to, can't dish out the coin for a citizen's arrest, which we greatly appreciate.
Okay.
Of course.
You're welcome. I'm just gonna go get my chest.
Where would the cracked mug be?
It's going to be down in the southeastern quarter. You're going to go about 3 to 4 blocks down this street. You're going to head about 8 blocks to the left.
Okay. All right, you coming?
Yeah.
Well,
You gonna meet us there, not Stefan?
Well, I've got to deal with the situation behind us once it's figured out. But after that, yeah, no, I would like to buy you guys around personally.
Now, are they gonna be open with the festivities?
Some bars stay open. They do reopen after the festivities have closed, which after this kerfuffle, I would say, is pretty soon.
All right, sounds good.
So Gronk's going to go and grab the chest off the ground, and he's going to also carve his name into the wagon.
Okay, so you're going
Gronk
to
was here.
grab the 2-person chest that they were carrying?
Well, I mean, he's a half-orc, yeah.
Give it a shot.
Okay, you want me to roll for it?
Give me a deception check to make it seem like it's your chest.
Right?
That's a 7.
Yeah, no. They rolled a nat 18.
Oh, you know what? This one isn't my chest. It looks very similar.
I think the chest you're talking about is probably the one right there on below your head.
And he looks up.
All right. Well, thank you, good gentlemen. We're I guess you guys gonna come with me?
I got nothing else to do tonight.
Oh yeah, then I'm in.
All right. We're gonna go ahead and down to the crack mug and gonna see exactly what that crack is.
All right. And as you approach,
Or do we walk by the wagon?
Yeah, technically.
Is there like a little sack or something?
There's a sack of shit.
Yeah. You can find a spare sack of something on the ground, sure.
I'm gonna kind of glance around and stoop down to act like I'm gonna tie my boot, and then as I stand up, I'm gonna grab the sack. Sleight of hand.
Go ahead and give me a sleight of hand
now.
check.
You're an all-star.
I was going to say take him out
It's
for
an
a
18.
drink first.
You grab a sack of something.
Okay, cool.
Barely.
Barely. Somebody got a 17, huh?
Modified, yeah.
Oh, wow. All right. So as we're walking, I'm going to kind of peek in it. Just kind of look down and peek in the sack. What's in it?
As you look down into the sack, you notice that it is a bunch of fish hooks and bobbers for fishing. And as you take a look back at the store, you look at the just kind of barely able to see it through the dim low light vision. The store they were robbing is called the Sinking Lure.
Ah, I got hooks and bobbers.
Yeah.
I can fish now, so fuck
Yeah.
y'all. Teach a half elf to fish, right?
So as you all approach, you can kind of see as you take the left to head towards the cracked mug. Off in the distance, there's a 3-story building that stands a little bit taller than the buildings around it. And outside, that's just starting to be illuminated by lights from the inside coming on. Just a wooden sign that's slightly chipped, and it looks like it's almost hanging from one chain. And as you approach, something of a dive in, so to speak, you walk into a tavern. So as you approach this divey tavern looking in, you open the door to a relatively empty room, and somewhat uniquely, there are 2 fireplaces within, creating a very warm glow, and a figure sees you as you open the door, and it's a short, brown-bearded dwarf. Hi! Welcome to the Cracked Mug!
Thanks for listening. Feel free to reach out to us on Facebook.com/TMaTAcast or on Twitter @TMaTAcast. Let us know things that you like about the show.
Thanks for listening, bitches.
Hi, I'm Dave, Geek of Eternia and Guardian of the Secrets of Castle Grayskull.
I am Sarah, his fearful friend.
Fabulous secret powers were revealed to us the day we held aloft our microphones and said,
By the podcast of Grayskull!
Together we defend Castle Grayskull.
From the evil forces of Skeletor.
Forge Audio.
Dream it.
Build it.
Share it.